大家好，欢迎大家来到华尔街见闻的大师课我是付鹏。三大问题其实很简单，这个经济学的基础如果大家都学过的话，其实从那个东西上来以后，我的人生总结是，我们的所有的经济的世界的三大问题就是我们可以从经济学的这个课本里面都可以找得到从最早的国富论我们都可以找得到。我给的就是分工、分配、债务杠杆和收入贫富，这里边涉及的问题不一样。我们从事金融的，其实我们更多的在中观上面，我们会关注债务和杠杆。但是如果我们是真正的政策制定者或者大宏观的这个战略的思考者的话，其实我们有的部分还要涉及到一个关于人文社科的问题，是关于到收入和贫富的问题。否则的话，你有些问题会受其诱惑比如说很多人认为说经济就是个货币现象 ，OK 可以大水漫灌，一切 happy 挺好的嘛，为什么不能这么做？为什么不能这么做？当你把这三个问题折合到一起的时候，你们会发现它产生的矛盾会跳出经济学领域，它会进入到人文社科的问题上，那也就是关于到你最后一个问题，收入和贫富的问题这个东西其实很早以前我们的这些前辈大师们看得很明白所以说呢，真正的经济周期中间的循环，原则上来讲，就是在这个释放它的利的过程中积攒了大量的弊，所以它需要利用这种萧条衰退的过程中间去进行再平衡，平衡社会的问题，平衡财富的分配的问题所以说西方的整个经济周期，你们看到的繁荣衰退萧条一代一代的，其实它准确说是在这个过程中处理它的矛盾。08年金融危机到现在，我实际上是比较的忧心忡忡。虽然说大家看到资产价格这个涨也好跌也好有波动，但是如果单纯的跳到世界观的角度上来讲，我一直认为是08年金融危机到现在为止我们还在延续，而且它延续到了一个非常危险的境地，就是它已经在影响着我们最后也是最害怕的地方，叫收入和贫富的这个矛盾。事实上来讲，大家观察到的现在的一些社会现象不管是我们内部的社会现象，还是全球的动荡格局，其实或多或少大家很轻松的可以理解我要讲的这个问题。但是这三者之间是怎么一个关系，对吧？国富论最早的跟大家讲的是关于这个有了分工有了收入的增长，有了分配这个分配的方式激励的方式有了这个收入的增长，经济的增长。这个话是对的，财富的创造过程中，其实最原始就是来自于收入的分工和分配。这个东西几百年前国富论最早就跟大家讲得很清楚，他讲到一个单一社会里的分工和分配，但是呢，由他进一步的延伸出来，就是大家非常熟知的一句话，叫全球经济一体化。全球经济一体化无非是国家和国家之间的分工和分配关系，但是任何的分工分配本质上来讲都有利和弊，尤其是当它加上债务和杠杆以后，我们说它的利弊就会产生的非常明显。我们为什么都喜欢干金融？很简单，因为金融行业原则上来讲，或者叫金融服务业也好，我们本质就是掌控那个债务和杠杆的人。我们要么就是创造债务和杠杆的人，要么我们就是利用债务和杠杆的人。那为什么我们都愿意干这个行业？因为很简单，我们是掌握着那个财富扩张的密码。那么财富的扩张究竟来自于什么？其实财富的扩张就是来自于债务和杠杆的运用如果我们说没有了金融，世界会不会好呢？我可以告诉你，如果没有金融，世界不一定会差。很多人会有一个错误的认知，就是说这个金融行业服务于实体经济，做大做强 whatever， 这其实都是我们给自己披上的一层圣衣其实原则上来讲，金融行业一半天使一半恶魔。我们既创造财富的同时，我们也带来灾难。我们的灾难是什么？创造巨大的贫富。所以说，很早的这个发展的认知中间，大家就开始认知到，掌握债务和杠杆的运用会拉大收入和贫富的差距，社会的阶层会错开然后呢，你会发现富者恒富，穷者恒穷，劳动的价值在减弱。这是个非常泛宏观的，但是把它糅合在一起，就会生成一个通用的模型。它不仅可以用于我们的宏观问题解释，还可以应用于我们微观资产的解释 一个单一的资产无非也跟我们这个道理是一样的，财富的创造、财富的扩张和财富的问题。那实际上任何的资产的路径在这个模型线条下也是管用的。所以大家就会发现，比如说这两位真正的大师我们只能算师者其实他们的人生经历的认知精华部分，我想跟大家提炼出来，对吧？我记得最早的时候，20-30年前的时候，当时大家很多人去解读索罗斯先生那本炼金术的时候，很多人的解释就是，哎呀，好像看不懂他前面那个比较偏理科的系统性东西在讲什么。好，我们直接给他的这个叫反身性理论冠上一个哲学的名义哲学这东西好讲也好理解，人家是个标准的理科生，好不好那个金融炼金术中间的大量的内容是一个标准的我们说这个全球经济一体化的反馈的路径的一个总和，那可不是一个简单的一个哲学人生心理鸡汤但当时我们可只能说大部分的读者对这个理解并不深刻可能稍微的当时的一些学者们很容易看明白前面他在讲什么。但是我仍然要推荐的索罗斯先生我认为他最荣光的地方，实际上就是在我们那3个历史传承下来的这3大框架中间，他其实捕捉的最重要的一点，也是他人生经历中间的一点，就是他对于国际分工分配的理解。所以说你们看到他当年无论是97年狙击香港，那是利用了他在国际分工中间造成的中微观的矛盾，资本流动中间造成的最微观矛盾，但是他的世界观更多的依靠的就是对于分工分配还有收入分配的极值这中间的一个框架。这个达利奥先生呢，其实毫无疑问他的书其实大家也都看了，更多的就是对于债务问题、债务的生成债务的毁灭债务的处理、债务的解决方案，所以他在中间那个环节对于债务和杠杆的理解应该说是非常深刻的。那第3个问题是关于到收入贫富，我想金融圈里是没有人对这个东西探讨过多的，因为它不属于我们的范畴。我们唯一 care 的终点是我赚钱就行了。当然了，当你的钱赚到一定程度的时候，开始思考改变社会的时候，好，你就成功了，进入到第3级，去考虑关于收入贫富的问题。你可以把自己的财富捐出去，可以去做慈善去改变这个世界，这是第3层的问题。但是基本上不会有人去写书去讨论它但是我们的社会已经是需要我们现在去这么做了以上就是课程的所有内容非常感谢大家，谢谢。
Today's video is about real estate. We're covering the housing market. So I'm going to give you a status update on the housing market crash, even though home prices are shooting up. I'm going to provide you with May data. May data is released in late June, so this is the most current information. So let's just jump right in. So you are looking at a 3-year chart of home prices. The median sale price of a home in May was $418,387. This is up by $10,530 from April. So in 1 month, home prices have increased by 2.6%. In May, home prices are down 3.4% from its peak 12 months ago. Seasonality has been driving prices up for the past few months. But a serious question to you, does this chart really look like a crash? So listen, I know that people have been saying that we're going to get a housing market crash, and they've been saying that for the past 18 months. But if you look at the data, home prices have crashed by 3.4%. I predicted that from the peak to the bottom, we would see a drop of 10 to 15%. Home prices fell 11%, and now, so right now, it is down 3.4% from its peak. Now, I want to show you the mortgage interest rates. This is a 1-year chart of a 30-year fixed mortgage rate, and this is sourced from Freddie Mac. It's been range-bound clearly from 6 to 7% for quite some time. Now, I want you to see this 3-year chart. This is the number of homes sold each month. Transaction volume is down 16.2% year over year. This is actually an improvement from the prior month. In April, it was down 25% year over year and down 33% in January. Now, I want you to remember that home prices are determined by supply and demand. It's just economics 101. If you want a housing market crash, then you need more sellers than there are buyers, but we're not seeing that. So maybe that's going to change in the future. Maybe that'll change 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, but that's not happening today. So I want you to look at the supply side of the equation. There are 1.47 million homes listed for sale. Year over year, this is down by 5.7%. So this is a 5-year chart. Look how the supply is still depressed compared to pre-pandemic levels. Now, I want to bring this to your attention. I really like looking at this chart because I think this is very important. So this shows the percentage of homes sold above list price, and this is a 5-year chart. In May, 37.5% of homes are selling above list price. So this is getting uncomfortably higher than pre-pandemic levels. So not as wild as it was in 2021 or 2022, but as you can see, it's shooting up again. However, you have to remember that this is May data and you have to factor in seasonality. But still, if you look at May of 2018 and May of 2019, we're still noticeably higher. So I'll tell you this. If you're looking to buy a home right now, keep this data in mind. More than 1 out of every 3 homes is selling for above list price. So that's the situation right now. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not encouraging you to, overpay. Check the comps, but if you're thinking about going over list price, then that is not uncommon right now. I just don't want you to feel like you're getting a bad deal if you go over list price, because that's just the way the market is right now. So if you're a seller, if you're selling your home right now, I hope this information helps you. But please make sure that your expectations are realistic. Yes, the housing market is heating back up again, but it's not like it was 12 to 24 months ago when 60% of homes were selling above list price. Now let's talk about the near future of the housing market, real estate predictions. There are forces that drive home prices up. There are forces that drive home prices down. The question, that I asked to you is which one is going to overpower the other? So here are the factors driving prices up. You have the lock-in effect that's still in play. It's well in play. So I showed you the chart of mortgage interest rates. It's been holding very steady in the 6 to 7% range. 90% of homeowners have a mortgage interest rate under 5%, so they feel locked in. Essentially, just ultimately, people don't want to sell their homes right now because why would they want to trade their 3% mortgage, their 4% mortgage? Why would they want to swap that out for a 6 or 7% mortgage? This means that more homeowners are choosing to stay put. So less people want to sell their homes, so there's less inventory, and this is keeping home prices elevated. So in addition to the lock-in effect, we still have a systemic shortage of homes. There's a housing shortage. So when there's more demand than supply, then it keeps prices higher. The National Association of Home Builders predicts that the housing shortage will continue this entire decade. So every year, the situation is expected to get better, like a little bit better every year, but it's not going to get resolved overnight. Now let's talk about what's driving home prices down. It's primarily a degrading economy. So the Federal Reserve says that they expect a recession to begin at the end of this year. So these are the words coming from the Federal Reserve. I try to be positive and optimistic. So that doom and gloom, these recessionary talks, that's coming from the Federal Reserve. That's coming directly from them. So we have the damaging effects of a recession and higher unemployment. And of course, with a recession and higher unemployment, that's going to put downward pressure on home prices. Now let's move on to predictions. The expectation is that mortgage interest rates will be lower at the end of the year compared to today. The mortgage interest rates are not expected to plummet. The expectation is a gradual decline. For the remainder of 2023, the expectation is that we will remain in a seller's market, but buyers will gain a little bit more bargaining power. So home prices will vary by region. Prices in the West will be more unstable compared to the East, and home prices in the Midwest and South will be the most stable. So regarding home prices, predictions are all over the place. Zillow predicts that home prices will increase by 3.5% this year. Morgan Stanley predicts that home prices will not decline this year. Year over year, they're predicting that home prices will be flat in December. Fannie Mae is predicting that home prices will fall by 1% this year. Some institutions, they're predicting a drop of 15 to 20%. Now, I want to give you my opinion, and I want to say this. I know that a lot of people are relying on this data, this housing market data, and they find this very helpful. Therefore, I do my best to give you an accurate interpretation of the data and the circumstances. So I predicted a housing market slowdown, not a crash. I predicted that home prices will fall by 10 to 15% in this cycle. So I predicted that over a year ago. Home prices fell 11%, so that's within my 10 to 15% range. And home prices have been recovering, but what we're seeing in the past few months, it's because of seasonality. But from the peak, home prices are currently down 3.4%. So I'll tell you this, to me, and this is purely my opinion, I want to be clear on that. If home prices fall by 3.4%, then I do not consider that a housing market crash. But again, that's just my opinion. So I understand that for some people, if they lose 3.4%, that's devastating and it feels like a crash. And the term housing market crash, I guess that's open to interpretation. It's subjective. Some people consider a housing market crash as home prices going down by 20%, 30%, 40%. But other people may interpret a housing market crash as home prices going down by 3.4%. So I don't want to discount the severity of this sizable drop of 3.4%. So if you want to call this 3.4% drop a housing market crash, then, I'm open to that idea. But listen, if you think that we're going to get the greatest housing market crash of our generation, you could still be right. So, a lot of people that have been saying that they've been wrong for the past 18 months, and home prices have been going up for the past 4 months, but you can still be right one day. But I'm still trying to figure out where are all these sellers going to come from to trigger a housing market crash. So here are the stats. Last year, 6 million homes were sold. Right now, 1.4 million homes are listed for sale. In 2010, there were 2.9 million homes foreclosed on and dumped onto the open market. So that's how you get a housing market crash. In May, foreclosures are up 14% year over year. It's going up, but it's nowhere close to 2010. Foreclosures up 14%, but it needs to shoot up by about 2,000% to get back to 2010 levels. So this year, we will see about 130,000 foreclosures, not 2.9 million. So please tell me where the millions of sellers and inventory going to come from? So that's a serious question, and I look forward to reading your answer. That's it for today. Please subscribe. I thank you for all the support and wish you a very nice day.